40,000 farmers just filed for bankruptcy ever since Trump became president.
Farmers are going bankrupt. They are not making no money. And everybody knows if you file bankruptcy, that just means bad credit. You're not going to have credit. And you know, when you got a farm or a business, you need credit to buy.
I know we're not Kerrville. I know we're not San Angelo or San Antonio. But hell, we're human beings. Help us.
Now, we all feel compassion for what's happening in Texas, right? We all feel that. However, isn't this you?
Step up on your video this morning.
You just couldn't help out of
But I'm going to have to do that. We're not going to help out anybody. Y'all been living on food stamps, EBT, Section 8 housing your entire freaking life.
Texas farmers are in tears. The same farmers who voted for Trump are now losing everything. The USDA guarantee they were promised, gone now. And now they are facing bankruptcy. Let's talk about how this happened. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for clicking the credit below to the owner of the video that you see them on the screen. Let's dive into more video and we'll be back for more commentary.
55% Republican.
40,000 farmers just filed for bankruptcy ever since Trump became president. More U.S. farmers have filed for bankruptcy in the first 3 months of 2025 than in all of 2024. Trump was literally big on talking about, like, farmers love me, I'm gonna give them the best benefit. Dude, more just filed for bankruptcy. Dude, everybody's been saying it. I just sound like a broken record, but he's just been doing the opposite of everything he said he was going to do once he's in office. Also, House Republicans just blocked effort by Democrats to release the Epstein files. So all the House Republicans are like, no, we're not going to release the Epstein files, even in Congress. We're just not going to do it. And people are realizing, oh, he's definitely on it. 100,000 likes. We already know this, but it's just crazy to see all the Republicans in unison being like, nope, nobody's seeing Epstein. Obviously, Trump or somebody higher up went to him and said, yeah, don't release that. You don't need world panic. Imagine it came out that Trump's a pedo. He's the sitting dude, the world would end. So even though we all know they're lying, it's better than them just not putting it out. What do y'all think of this in the comments? Let me know your opinion.
Remember when Trump promised to take care of Americans' farmer? Well, Texas farms just found out that the hard way that promise don't pay the bills. And now they are losing it all.
Farmers in Maine don't just help feed our families, they help feed the world. But right now, the USDA is being gutted. 1 in 7 staff have been cut. That's over 15,000 jobs. Those jobs include food safety scientists, vets, conservation staff, and that includes 11 people who have lost their jobs right here in Maine. Farmers are owed billions in unpaid contracts, and right here in Maine, that number is 26 million alone. These cuts don't just hurt farms, they threaten all of our food security.
I know we're not Kerrville. I know we're not San Angelo or San Antonio. But hell, we're human beings. Help us.
Now, we all feel compassion for what's happening in Texas, right? We all feel that. However, isn't this you?
Step up on your video this morning.
You just couldn't help out of
But I'm going to have to do that. We're not going to help out anybody. Y'all been living on food stamps, EBT, Section 8 housing your entire freaking life.
And isn't this also you?
Are you feeling nervous? Are you having fun? It's almost over. It's just begun.
And what about this?
What you gonna do, crybaby?
With alligator
I wear Alcatraz mask if I want to. And what you gonna do?
You see, this is just the hypocrisy of MAGA Trump supporters. You want compassion for yourselves, but you have no compassion for anybody else. And I've seen quite a few right-wing MAGA supporters saying, how dare you make this issue political? How dare you say that this is what you voted for? I've seen tons of them. So let's just clear something up. First of all, we're not saying that we are happy that this happened to anybody. We're not saying that, but we are pointing out the fact that you did vote for this, that you supported it. You just didn't support it when it happens directly to you. I would like to think that maybe now you'll wake up and have compassion for others and realize that the person you voted for doesn't care about you. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say there is no growth within your party. all my life.
Texas farmers who once cheered for Trump are now asking, what did we vote for? After losing their USDA granted and watching their farms collapse, the reality is hitting hard and it's not pretty.
TikTok. Oh, I like this filter. Anyway, TikTok. I heard the farmers are filing bankruptcy. They said farmers are filing bankruptcy. One reason because of Mr. T. They said because, they deporting all the immigrants. They deporting folks that even shouldn't be deported. And the tariffs, commodities, the farmers are going bankrupt. They are not making no money. And everybody knows if you file bankruptcy, that just means bad credit. You're not going to have credit. And when you got a farm or a business, you need credit to buy supplies. I had a small business, so I know a little bit about that. You need credit to buy supplies. You need things for your business. So that's sad to hear. But what's even sadder is that the farmers voted him in. Y'all voted for this. And another sad thing is the farmers, they're still, and I'm not even going to just talk about farmers. Some of these people that ain't farmers, they just got business. Some of y'all are still waiting for something to happen to y'all, for y'all. You waiting for something good to happen. Well, nothing's going to happen that's going to be good because the tariffs, he's up and down and up and down. First he says 30%, then he says 40%, then he says 50%. He's playing a game while he's making big money off of crypto. He made $57 million. So do you think he's thinking about a farmer in Idaho or Illinois? It don't affect me because I'm poor anyway. Just a regular working woman. Grown kids. I'm not hurting. All I got to feed is myself. But it's just sad. Y'all voted for this man. And the amount of disrespect he is giving y'all. Okay, looks like he deported y'all workers. The tariffs. You buy products, the products are going to be higher. That's what the business people say. It's just a mess. Anyway, good luck.
They counted on their thought they were waiting for someone who would protect their farms. But now they are asking, was it all a lie? Generation of Texas farmers are on the brink of losing everything, and many are realizing the political they trusted the most has left them high and dry.
Farmers that were so excited for Trump winning, and now they're making posts about losing all their USDA grants because they are DEI, they're female. I'm in a lot of groups that are like female flower farmers, women flower farmers, etc., etc. And when Trump won, there were so many. I would say the majority of the people in these groups were so excited about this motherfucker's win, right? They were like so stoked. They're like, finally, they're gonna get our country back, blah 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 blah. And of course, they're the rest of us in these groups, and we're like, you realize this is going to negatively affect rural communities, right? And we're seeing it happen in real time. We're seeing these same farmers lose their grants. We're seeing less programs available. And in rural communities specifically, we're seeing hospitals close. So places where we're growing our food, our flowers, our hospitals are being closed. And these same women that were all like, I'm so excited, make America great again, are now posting stuff like, I can't find any seasonal help. And it's completely fucked up that in this country that seasonal, agricultural help is reliant on undocumented workers and being paid less. But that's also the reality of the world that we live in. And none of the rural people here who live out here, who are citizens, want to do that work. Nor are they good at it, I'm going to be honest. People really don't start caring until it directly affects them. Because we live in such an individualist culture in a country that, of course, these people wouldn't have cared until it directly affects them and their bottom line. I'm not on a mega flower farm. My operation can be handled by 1 to 2 for the most part. It's very, very, very small. I'm not in the same league as a lot of these women. But, yeah, I think they're having a wake-up call right now.
Look, I'm not here to mock anyone's pain, but this is the harsh reality of politics. These farmers put their trust in big promise. American first, support the farm, we will take care of you. But when the time came, the politics didn't match the words. Now, families who have worked the land for generations are being crushed under debit, watching their farms slip away. This is not just about Texas, it's a warning for all of us. Blind loyalty to politics who only show up for photo ops can cost you everything.
55%. That's the rate that American farmers have been declaring bankruptcy over and above last year. 55% more bankruptcies of American farmers. And it's the conditions, the economic conditions that are contributing to it. A lack of a workforce, a lack of labor, tariffs, I mean, the whole 9 yards. You know, everything this administration has done is contributing to these people losing everything. They're losing the farm, right? So why is this important? Why should you care? Well, what happens when a family declares bankruptcy is that their property is sold in a sheriff's auction to satisfy creditors. So they lose their property. It's fire sailed. And, you know, if they've got a $1 million loan on the 1,000 acres they got, and they get $500,000 for the property, well, they're on the hook for another $500,000. We're talking about generations that have farmed land, that have been farmers their entire lives, losing everything because they can't sell a product overseas. I mean, most of our corn and grain is sold to other countries, and the tariffs are making it more expensive than other options. So they can't sell what they've farmed for decades or centuries. So what's the end run here? Why is this happening? Well, my speculation is that there's large, massive farming operations out there, very large corporations that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of acres. For example, the King Ranch. And 25 years ago, they had 1 million acres and several 100,000 head of cattle. And they're looking to expand. So how do you expand cheaply? Well, what you do is you get somebody to pass legislation that's going to make family farms file bankruptcy. And then instead of giving them fair market value for it, you can just buy the land in foreclosure. So, well, out of bankruptcy. So that's the end run here. That's what all these policies are doing, is simply gutting family farmers to allow corporations to get farmland cheaply. It's a shame. It's sad. It's shameful. But that's what this administration is going for, you know. Line the pockets of the big corporations, the big farmers, and shaft us.
This isn't just about Texas or the USDA. This is about politics talk a big game. Wave flag and then leave hardworking Americans in the dust. These farmers put their trust and their votes behind someone who told them he was their champion. Now they are learning the hard way that empty promise don't pay the bills.
Well, look like farmers are running out of cash, y'all. Under the crisis brought on by Trump. You know, some small farmers, they're on the brink of bankruptcy. Can't afford to run their farms. Well, they ain't got to worry, because J.D. Vance is there. You got to buy up that fucking land, because that's what they wanted from the beginning. That's my opinion. They wanted to boot some of the farmers out so they can buy that land. They wanted their land. It's a goddamn shame that the farmers didn't see it coming. Goddamn shame. Yeah, they didn't see it coming. If they had this, you know, did a little more research especially on JD Vance. He want that goddamn land. He want their land. That's my opinion. But if they had took the time and did some research, I think they wouldn't have voted Trump. But that's my opinion. Oh well. They lose the land, they lose their land.
Not sure if you've seen this, but more U.S. farms have filed for bankruptcy in the first 3 months of this year than they did in all of 2024. Now, you might be sitting here saying, well, I'm not a farmer, I don't live in a rural community, so why in the hell should I care? This trend is going to affect all of us, and here's how. This is going to result in higher grocery prices. It's also going to result in corporations taking over, right? Big ag taking over. And we know what happens when big corporations take over. Less quality, higher prices. It's also going to make us even more dependent on foreign food sources. At a time when President Trump is increasing tariffs for no reason and with no clear plan. So again, all of this is going to affect food prices, which will then lead to higher cost of living, which will then lead to inflation. So much for helping the working class, right?
Okay, guys, so there's some comment from people, so I want to read from you. I need to see 100%, not 50%. It's not enough for them. Okay, awesome. They are getting what they vote for. I wish them the best, but I don't feel a bit sorry. Getting what they voted for sure. FDT, FAFO, they didn't learn from his first term, so too bad. As Democratic farmer who thinks this administration is vile, the struggle is real. Most voted for it. We all will suffer. He stole the election by cheating with mask, but still, the farmers did vote for him. No self-preservations or monos. I so deeply wish the middle of the country would have read, investigated, and made better decision last November. Sadly, these are the farmers who voted for Republican. They expect the government to bail them out. They voted for this, hated this expensive, and has expected consequence. What will it take for people to wake up? I grew up in farm family. This is heartbreaking. Big corruption are coming with automated system and will pay sentence. Republicans went farm in the hand of corruptions. FO season, FO moment. Like this is coming from the people. Farmers in Canada reaped the reward from this Trump making Canada great. A lot of farmers voted for this. Now these farms can sell out to the corporate farmers or the Mormon church. Then these farms can work for them as an employee. I feel not sympathy only for Democrats who will pay with the cost of inflation. The rich soap will beat them up. That's the whole point. We will see in November if they change their mind, but they will probably still vote for him. You see, regular people tightening their belts when times are hard, but I never see farmers change their spending habits. New trucks, tractors, toys, vacation. I am in AG, so I see it firsthand. Apply to helper. And they just sit back like, making America great again. Trump is infamous for bankruptcy. I guess the Chinese government will continue to purchase America farms. Trump rich body will be buying up those farms. Yeah, guys, so this is the comment from the people. Okay, guys, so that's all from the people in the comment section. So what do you think, guys? Are we finally seeing people wake up to the reality? That's slogans and real life don't fix real world problems. Drop your thought in the comment section. I want to hear what you think about what's happening to these farmers. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next one. Bye.